Alrighty, good evening, everybody. Welcome to the BNR Truck Series, brought to you by BNR Racing Network. Here tonight, playoff race 1, round 1 at IRP. A little short track, a little slippy slidey here tonight. Playoff field is set. Got a few drivers out on vacay. You see here Josh Small turned some averagely fair laps. As now Chris is going to make his way out. See as he comes out on his warm-up lap. As he wraps the high line, can he get it to stick all the way around is the question. At the 22.85. See if he can better his second lap. He will not. So I got a little race information here. As we see here, we are at IRP in Claremont as a 0.6 mile track. Current track temp is 75 degrees. The weather out here tonight is 72 degrees, 58% humidity, partly cloudy with a 7 mile per hour wind. 100 laps, 38 miles, 80% fuel, unlimited tires. You get one quick fix and 3 attempts at a green-white checkered. So, as qualifying will come to a close here. So, under the lights as we come here, so the starting grid will be Brandon Moore, Joe Stite, Richard Johns, Josh Small, Chris, John, Philip, and then Chris. Oh, wrong one.
You got me, Brian?
Yes.
All right, good evening.
Good eve. A little bit of IRP. Oh, that's one way to exit out. There you go.
Why are you so much louder?
What?
You were so much louder. You're not
Alright.
supposed to be this loud. Yes, IRP, wonderful Indianapolis Raceway Park. Why is your volume in Discord that? What? Who's been in my Discord? Okay, talk now.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
All right, that's
Yes,
better.
yes.
Wonderful. Oh wow, Brandon throwing some differentness on his truck tonight. Interesting.
Sour Patch.
Just because I said I had to turn your volume down doesn't mean you gotta be all sad now.
I'm not.
Oh, okay. Look at Joe up there qualifying second.
Yeah, I heard he put a lot of practice in it, so.
And my green flag is out, Brian, here tonight, IRP.
Oh, yeah. Not too sure which lane is the dominant lane. I do believe they were all running the outside lane.
Yeah, it'll probably be the top lane right up against the wall. Or about a lane, maybe a half lane off from it. But Phillip making some moves early. Wow, did a somewhat of a slide job, got in front of Chris Camary. Now working the back of Joe Stipe. I believe Phillip started all the way in the rear of the field. Oh, and already sideways. And first caution of the evening, so sometimes that hard charging, man, can really turn around and bite you, as we saw what just happened with Phillip. He got in the corner, I think, at just a bit too low for the truck's liking, perhaps.
Tires ain't up to grip. If you ride down the grass a little bit, put a little heat in them tires. Under the lights, so the track's probably going to be a little bit cool. So.
Yes, this is a night race, or going. It should transition. It should be a full night race by the time we're over with it, but all depends on how quick they can get these 100 laps down.
Yeah, so Joe qualified pretty good. He said he put some time in and wanted to get a better playoff run. Go. The playoffs Go ahead.
I was just going to say that's exactly what you need to do. You know, if you're trying to go after a championship or fight for one, you know, you need to put up some type of fight or commitment, you know, whether that be putting the practice or time in at certain tracks that you may not be that familiar or good at. So
yep. I think I did a couple of officials here in the trucks, and they were loose before they put the update out. So I don't know how they handle.
Yeah, the guys said that they were still handling pretty loose. So still loose handling trucks here at IRP.
Well, after this one, they head to the Milwaukee Mile. next Tuesday. Up there in Wisconsin. Pit, like nobody has pit sign down there. Pit arrows that way. So green flag back out.
Milwaukee Mile next week, depending on who able is to show up and everything, should provide a pretty good race.
Oh, yeah.
Joe kind of stuck on the bottom there, not able to get up. Oh, he's going to have a bit of a moment coming out of turn 4. Catches it, but he's going to lose a lot of ground and track position at the same time.
Oh yeah, the slippage will do that, especially on tires that are not warmed up yet.
Not warmed up and had a heat cycle to boot. Already ran a few laps on them, then got a caution, pulled them off, and got back at it.
So it seems like middle to high lane is where it's at right now, at least until the tires get heated up. And I'm sure eventually you can start running that low lane if you can get it to stick.
I almost don't think anybody's going to be able to venture down there. It just seems like the way this track is looking, it's just going to be one of those outside type of tracks that's just all that momentum is going to be carried by that outside lane if you can just get it right.
So I see Phillip rocking the bottom, trying to get by Chris. Chris said that he's a short track kind of guy, so
Yeah, he seems to be a good little short track racer, so this little swing of short tracks, I guess you could say, should be suiting his driving style.
yep. You see there. What is the track temp at the moment? It is 74.
Well, 74 degrees for a track temp is not really that bad.
Nope. Wouldn't say. There's a tussle going on in the back here. P5.
Joe Stipe and J.D. O'Brien, yep. Then
What's up,
Joe
Kyle?
Stipe. And Christopher Campbell. Those 4 trucks there.
Always good to have Campbell out here turning the laps. See JD. You're good, bud. Enjoy your birthday. Yes, huge shout out Kyle and a happy birthday to him, and also a very huge congrats to our Cup Series driver, Brock Page, on having his baby boy today, little baby Charles. So congratulations to him as well. Wish them the best of luck and many more happy memories for Brock and his girlfriend. So.
Yes, indeed. Congratulations for Brock.
Oh, and there goes Joe. What a save, though. Well done.
And happy birthday, Kyle, like you said, Brian. So, congratulations and happy birthdays all around. I'm not sure if Joe completely saved it. I think he might have dinged the inside concrete retaining wall. Oh. That is definitely some hard, close, and contact racing there. Chris Kamari and Philip Bridgman.
Oh yeah, I want to go back to see what happened to Joe.
I think he just got loose off of turn 2 and came down and met the wall, but if he always got... Was that when he initially did it? Yes, just kind of in that lower lane on the exit of the corner. There's no grip down there really in the truck. Possibly getting back into the throttle a bit more sooner than the truck wanted. Oh, that truck is devastatingly destroyed.
Thank you, Kyle. We try every week.
With the pink and all the colorfulness of that truck, almost looks like a Jennifer Jo Cobb paint scheme. But Richard John's going to... Nope, never mind. They are gonna... Everybody's gonna come down pit.
Yep. So Josh.
Nope,
and
no, they're not.
stay out.
Yeah, Josh and Christopher Campbell. So, everybody else besides them, everybody else chooses to pit.
Yep. Second caution of the night.
Really second caution, but for two different incidences, if you think about it, Brian.
Yeah, one with Joe and then...
Yeah, Joe was all but stopped in 3 and 4, and then on the exit of turn 4, Chris Kamari and Philip Bridgman got together. So two separate incidences, like Joe's crash happened at the exit of basically the back straightaway, and kind of just he kept rolling till turn 3, and then a little bit later is when Chris and Philip got together. So, but like I said, two different incidences pretty much on track at the same time, bringing out the caution. Nothing really, I don't think Chris did wrong in that incident, just a racing deal. Philip just got a bit tight probably underneath the 15 and just walked it up into Chris and found the wall. I don't think he had used a fast repair from earlier, so maybe... Oh, no, he's out of the race. Okay, so... Tough break for Philip.
See there, Josh gets a little squirrely on the start.
Now, this is a long heat cycled tire that Josh is on, so Josh and both Christopher, 25 laps here, being out, 25 lap older tires compared to what pretty much everybody else has.
Oh yeah.
So only 75 more laps to go, Brian.
Yeah, when it's a 6 mile of a track, they tend to tick away the laps. You see Josh Small, Chris Campbell, Brandon Moore closing that gap. Josh is going to do everything he can to hang on for a majority of the part.
Well, Josh is doing a pretty good job, I think. Except for that moment right there in turn one. Sometimes, this track, just how flat it is, how much momentum you're carrying, it just kind of leads you into the wall. Brandon now going way downstairs, trying to get by Campbell and Smalls now. That's pretty much the only lane he has because those two with the older tire are in the preferred lane pretty much.
Yep.
So, but kind of short work being made. It is, though, a slight challenge for Brandon having to deal with that, but Brandon does have the better tire, but also that more difficult grip trying to get down there and pass, maneuver, get around somebody using that bottom portion of the track. So Brandon back to the lead with Small and Campbell second and third. John's getting past Camary for fourth, and Camary in fifth rounds out the top five. J.D. O'Brien sixth, Joe Stipe in seventh, one lap down. Philip Bridgman out of the race, so that rounds out the running order. So, like you said, Milwaukee Mile next week.
Yeah, where a few of the other drivers come back from their little vacation. That's what I heard today. I think 3 of them are on vacation.
Oh, I was just going to say Milwaukee Mile is just a bigger version of IRP in a sense.
I'll say more like a New Hampshire.
It is a New Hampshire, a bigger version of Martinsville. It really, you can't compare it to Martinsville, except it's almost the complete opposite. In the corners at Milwaukee, there's asphalt in the corners instead of concrete. Originally a concrete track, over time, creeks and patches have came up off the track, especially in the corners. So that's where the idea was to lay asphalt in the corners to remedy that. It's a awesome historic track. IndyCar raced there for several years, took a hiatus, and then it announced earlier in the just a couple of weeks ago, or about a week ago, the IndyCar schedule was released. Might have been a couple of weeks ago. Trying to remember. Anyway, and if I'm not mistaken, there's a double header date for Milwaukee on the IndyCar schedule now. So that is really enticing and cool to see. Love to see Indy or just not IndyCar, but racing series go back to Milwaukee Mile. Might see the Xfinity series go there with the trucks, be a companion with the trucks. Oh, JD caught that truck. Excellent save for JD.
But I did see that. Ooh, excuse me. Cup Series now heading to Iowa.
Yes, Cup Series going to Iowa. It's not known as of yet if it's going to be doubleheader weekend or it's not going to be companion series as far as we know to the IndyCar series when they hold their doubleheader at Iowa. If they're doing that again next year as well, I think they are. But I think IndyCar has 3 doubleheader weekends next year. I think, or might just be 2, but I think it's 3 in their calendar. But it'd be cool to see NASCAR incorporate Iowa. There was some talk about only going to it like once every 3 years. Like I think when you have different venues like Iowa or Milwaukee or Gateway, different places like that, North Wilkesboro, Martinsville, all these different tracks. You should probably go to them once a year and then maybe rotate different tracks here and there back and forth on the schedule. Like the Indy Road Course or the Roval, like we've talked about it before, like different tracks have multiple layouts, or you could probably go to that event, hold it like a double header weekend perhaps. There's so much you could do there, but sometimes it's almost at the same time not feasible at the same time, but good like spitball theories, I guess you could say. JD is having one heck of a time just wrestling that truck around this track. Joe Stipe and Chris Camary back at that battle again, and Christopher and Josh kind of plateaued. I figured they would with that 25 lap old tire. Don't know why, Brian. I don't know why you wouldn't come down and pit at lap 24 when everybody else did. Why would you stay out?
Well, they probably wanted that extra bonus point going in, and try to figure out a way to beat Mr. Moore there. So, but fortunately,
yeah, that is a good point. Leading that lap,
are always going to win.
Leading that lap for that extra point, points, man. As that Black Eyed Peas song goes, all of, what is it? Boom, boom, boom.
Oh.
Got to get that boom, boom, boom.
Yeah.
Well, you could basically, put anything you want in there, and I used to points race a lot, right? So I would just be like, all about those points.
That's a good way to look at it.
Either that, or if you're playing like Madden or baseball or something, it's a good little parody song to throw in whenever you need some points. Because, sports is all about points.
Yeah. See Josh there,
closing.
That rear slipping out underneath
oh, yeah.
him.
Closing in on halfway, 48 laps down. This is probably one of the easiest tracks to get some good wheel slippage coming up out of the corners.
I would say so. Extra slick.
Oh, another moment for Josh.
50 laps complete. 50 laps to go. Now it will be 49.
Well, Brandon Moore, comfortable 7.5 second lead over Richard Johns. And then 10 seconds back to third place man, Chris Camary. Well, 11 seconds, so. Another, looks like Brandon Moore race to lose. Anything is possible with 48 laps to go in this race.
Yep.
I asked Brandon, or really, the guys that was in the Discord chat with Brandon there. It was, Joe and Richard and them. I was like, hey, you guys gonna have to pit for tires perhaps? Like, I know you ain't gonna have to pit for gas, but what about maybe a pit stop just for tires, you know? They were like, nah, we ain't gonna have to worry about that, you know, whatever happens, happens, you know, we're just gonna rent it out. Be no problems, so
Josh Small having a tight / loose truck is hurting him.
yeah, it's just
staying out
back and forth handling.
What are you dealing with? You see that? About not even full throttle running turns, just letting her eat.
No, he got it pointed really good through 3 and 4, and it turned really good for him there. Seems like 1 and 2 having more so of a oh, you got it to turn down there, okay. Last lap was just bad for him, I guess, but he's really arcing it down, able to get it to turn, able to bite, so. Oh. That's not a battle. My apologies. I got all excited real quick. And
so did I. I looked up there and saw who it was.
Yeah.
But it's still a battle out on track, even with a lap car or not.
Yeah, it really sucks for Joe. Truck got away from him and heavy damage, had to use his fast repair and lost a lap, unfortunately. But if it wasn't for that, he'd probably be up here in third battling with Richard. But seems like he's got some good speed. Like we've talked about, Joe, certain tracks, you know, just like everybody, just about everybody has a handful of tracks where they can show up and run relatively good enough times to be consistently good enough, Brian. And that's what you need to run up in the top 5.
Well, we all know Brandon's on a whole nother level.
Oh yeah. He's heading to Venus.
Yeah, just about. So Josh Small trying to run down Chris.
I thought we were going to start singing more lines of the final countdown, but you didn't. Never mind. I thought you were going to, you know, but here we stand tall. That's what comes after that line of the song. Anyway, it's not Tuesday karaoke, so we progress.
Every now and then you'll hear little music quotes in between somewhere. I tell you what, Campbell's hooking that outside pretty good on worn tires. Josh can't.
Yeah, him and JD slugging it out for 6th and 7th. Oh, my bad, 5th and 6th.
Joe's in 7th.
Yes.
Coming to 65 of 100 in the books. As they keep ticking away the laps. As you see there, Brandon is about a full turn ahead of these guys. About to catch the tail end of the field there of Chris Campbell and JD. I would say the next handful of laps here. Got almost 13 seconds over Mr. Richard. And then about 18 almost close enough to 18 seconds over Chris. And so on, so on.
Russell Crowe earlier, didn't earlier in the year, or was it late last year? I feel like it was earlier this year. There was a movie with Russell Crowe where he was like working for the Catholic Church, where he was doing some exorcist stuff.
Yes,
like
he was.
And then there's an Exorcist movie coming out as well this year. Why is there 2 Exorcist movies in the same year? Like that. I know it's like completely different stuff, but like it's almost like that seems like it would be kind of conflicting, with kind of like whenever there was like the Top Gun 2 not really remake, but sequel that came out, and then the Devotion movie about the World War II pilots came out like later that year, and it didn't do as good as like Top Gun 2, but of course it's not going to do as why have basically the same movie come out in the same year is what I'm getting at. Like I don't get that.
I don't know, they all, movie directors and companies, they all try to get it out as early as possible, and if they think that it can make a fairly decent amount in the same year, then I guess they'll do it.
But it's like the same movie pretty much, or like,
yeah, kind of close enough to it.
And like,
but this new Exorcist has 2 possessed people.
Yeah, all whoopee doodah day. Like, let's throw another one in there.
But the original mother who played in the first one is in that one.
Oh, okay. That's who that person is.
Yes, she was the.
That's who the old.
Yes.
That's who the old lady is in the trailers.
Yes. So she was the original mother when it was with Linda Blair. Just
like for the Scream and Halloween movies, we gotta have the returning, cast come back to play some type of cameo role. So just 25 laps to go in this race, and we've brought the topic of movies because I had an Exorcist ad.
I was gonna say how it probably popped up.
Yeah. In my opinion, out of all the horror movie, like different subcategories of horror movie, like the Exorcist category is the most just downright nonsensical category.
Yeah, I would say.
It kind of sucks that I can't chat in a Twitch chat anymore on console. They took that away. You gotta do it like through, you gotta like do it mobile and stuff, I think, now. Either mobile or through the browser. Yeah. At least I think, or like I may have to like re-verify. I have no idea, to be honest.
You might have to re-verify something and then you'd be able to.
But like I'm already signed in with my Twitch account on the Twitch app, and it's like, yes, more verification, I guess. Who knows?
Yep, I piloted a Roval race earlier. That was a doozy. But it was fun. I'll get back in the rhythm of it again. But anyway, branding closing up here on Chris Campbell.
Yeah, in a way, I guess that's kind of preparation for you, because I believe you have your Roval in the Cup playoffs. I do believe.
Chicago Street Course.
Oh well, it's still left and right turns.
Yeah.
It's still a road course. It's practice. Oh well.
Uh-huh.
So Brandon Moore working.
Oh, Campbell had to tap the brakes a bit. Brandon just about wasn't clear enough there. Campbell could have dumped him, but he tapped the brakes like a scholar and said, "All right, B, go ahead." And now Brandon's closing that gap on Josh with 19 laps to go.
Have you ever just wanted to throw something into a wood chipper?
Sometimes.
It may or may not be a cat.
Oh, I don't know about any of that. Wouldn't want to do that.
Yeah, I don't know. No, not at all. Yes. So closing final 20 laps here.
Yeah, all the way up to 4th place, a lap down. Working
About
on
to
third.
catch. Yeah, about to say. Running down Camary.
If I'm Chris, I'm gonna fight every tooth and nail. I'm just gonna keep running the line that I'm running, and if he's faster, he'll find a way around.
It looks like Brandon has found that way around, got a nose on him going into 1 and 2. Can he seal the slide job? Looks like he's going to. So.
There's the caution.
Oh. Christopher Campbell gets probably, I don't want to call it too soon, but I don't know if there was contact made, but stoppage on the front straightaway. Oh, just gets out from underneath him and overcorrected.
And I'm back. Audio came back. Am I back? Am I good? Hello. Haha. We're good. We're back. Yes, I lost all audio and everything like that, but we're good now, so. So Brandon stays out.
Brandon pitted the first time by. What I was saying was interesting to see here if Richard can get a good enough restart to maybe challenge Brandon. Joe Stipe looks like he might.
Yeah, he's back on the lead lap.
Oh, back on the lead lap, so. This might help Joe get a top 5 finish. If there won't be another caution.
Oh, yeah. I guess Chris is on the lead lap, too.
Well, he took the lucky dog around, and
That's right.
Joe got the wave around for staying out.
Yes, that is correct.
Everybody else that was a lap down pitted, so nobody else got a wave around but Joe.
That is true. Hurry up, Joe.
So, green flag back out in the air. Brandon gets a good hole shot jump on Richard.
Oh, as Richard gets sideways.
Oh my goodness. Oh, that's a huge crash. Richard got sideways in the middle of 1 and 2, just broke loose out from underneath him. And did he collect Campbell in that?
Yes, he did.
Campbell and possibly O'Brien. No, I don't think O'Brien got.
No, JD was alright.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to say. Yeah, JD got by it. Just that camera angle on top of the grandstands there was a bit deceiving from that range, but big enough hit for Campbell. Probably knocked the toe out of the 51 machine, more than likely. Wouldn't be surprised.
So,
Caution moment at the towards the end of this race, Brian.
yep. So that'll put Josh back on the lead lap. And that will put Chris Camary P2.
And Joe Stipe brings it into the pits to get a fresh set of tires on that 13 machine. So we saw how quick Joe was earlier, and he's going to be restarting inside the top 5, if not, 5th place. Well, Josh is going to start at the rear of the field. So yeah, Joe's going to start in the top 4. Joe could get a top 3 out of this, maybe.
Yeah, he's going to move to 3rd. That'll be good for him. Six to go. So I think they'll be coming to 4 to go.
Yeah, it's not quite green-white checkered territory yet, I don't think. I think you're right. We might get the restart with 4 laps to go here.
Yes, I would say so. So Joe will be 3rd. Chris Camary 2nd. Richard 4th. Josh. Yeah, it's a chopper.
If you don't mind, please, sir. Thank you.
No, they're going to be coming 3 to go. So green, white, and then the old checkered. Unless they get another caution, and then
So Brandon Moore going to lead them back off of turn 4, hopefully for the final time. Chris Kamari to the outside. Can Brandon get the same type of jump he got last restart? Yes, and more. Chris Kamari kind of got sleeping there on the outside. Joe trying to move into second place. And it's going to be a battle for that second place. Here we go, piling into the back straightaway. So 2 laps to go. Oh, and Joe gets loose off of turn 4. That's going to be another yellow probably.
it is.
So that is going to bring us into our green, white, checkered scenario situations. Joe was really fighting for that second place, wanting a podium finish tonight after the etch-a-sketch night he was having.
So that will put Campbell back on the lead lap now.
Yeah, all we need is another green, white, checkered, and just about everybody, except for Philip. Philip out of the race for a while now, but all the rest of them will be back on the lead lap. We just had another one of these things. We do have 3 attempts here at a green, white, checkered.
Yep. This is.
We ran a really big portion of this race green flag, and then they got close to the end and started saying, "Hey, hold my beer." Like, "Hey, I bet you I can get back to the throttle quicker than you. Hold my beer."
Yep. Well, it's good to have Campbell back on the lead lap. It's not.
All the merrier, to try to keep trying to win this race, stumbling over one another. Why not? Yes, I agree. Not like they were doing that to begin with. They were giving each other lots of room, splendid room. Love to see it, but sometimes you just get ever so slightly back to the throttle before you need to, and that's possibly what happened in Joe's case. Lighten those kind of cold tires up and getting that wheel slippage up off the corner in that bottom groove, and he was going for it. I tell you, he was trying to get all he could get. Nothing wrong there, so love to see it, really do, but nevertheless.
Well, it's the first attempt, so do they use the other 2? Just all depends, really.
Gee willikers, I hope not.
A lot of these guys are on freshies, and Brandon's the only one that decided to pace around, so he's got a lot of extraordinary heat in those good years. So they'll try it again here. As the pace truck pulls off.
Well, Brandon Moore going to try to get that whole shot jump that he got last time. As everybody gets to the restart zone and he's off again, but Richard tried to time it now. They barrel through 1 and 2. Chris Kamari going to get that momentum back around the outside. Going to get back by Richard. Brandon, Chris, and Richard. Richard going to trying to charge it in there just a bit deeper into the corner. Side by side for second place and side by side for third and fourth. Well, that's not third and fourth, that's fourth and fifth. White flag is out. Final time here at IRP BNR Truck Series. Looks like Richard Johns was able to get by Chris Kamari down the back straightaway. Brandon Moore's going to win the race. Oh, synchronized slippage off the final corner for the final time.
So Brandon Moore, Johns, Kamari, Small, Joe. What a race to the end there by those guys.
Oh, yes, most definitely. Everybody, just about, except for Brandon, having a back and forth, up and down night. Oh, we got fireworks. But, yeah, just about everybody having a back and forth, up and down night, except for the pole sitter and race winner, dominator, Brandon Moore. Look at the fireworks. So, ooh, oh, ooh. Oh, they're already over now, Brian. We done this.
Yeah.
You tried, though. You tried.
I figured they would just keep going.
But now we know for future reference.
Yes, I can finesse the camera a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
Alright, so we'll talk to old Chris. Hello. As I pull him up and he goes back down. And he's back. There you go. Hello.
You got a cockpit? Hey, guys. Hey, how's it going? Great, actually. It's just super now. Yeah, third place, podium finish. Wasn't quite able to hold off Richard. Richard had a tussle there on that green white check. But kind of, I don't want to say up and down night, but kind of back and forth night. You just about everybody except for Brandon had a back and forth night. They're up and down, comers and goers. Out of all these 8 people here tonight. But third place, strong run for you, strong finish. Tell us about it, Chris. Well, first, what a great way to open off the playoffs for me. First race with a podium. My first podium in the series, actually. I've been pretty close a few times and just missed the mark. Holding down. I knew we had like a third place truck square sitting most of the night. Josh had me on my toes for quite a while mid race, keeping that thing, trying to keep him behind me. But almost a second place. Great battle with Richard, like you said. Didn't mean to make contact with him. I'm glad that neither of us met an unfortunate end to that one, but podium, I'm big time pumped right now. They had me on the edge there at the end when the cautions kept flying and people kept getting their laps back. I was starting to get pretty nervous. Yeah, you and Brandon, I think there was at one point just a couple of you, about 2 or 3 on the lead lap at one point, and then the cautions and everything kind of fell the way they did, and just about everybody got back on the lead lap, like you were saying. So, yeah, overall a pretty good IRP race. Had a good, decent green flag run in there, and then just had a lot of breeding cautions here towards the end of the race. Next week, Milwaukee Mile, Chris. What's your thoughts and everything going into Milwaukee Mile? I typically don't like very flat tracks. However, I for some reason do like the mile, so I haven't raced there in quite a while.
but hopefully it'll be good. I'm looking forward to that one as well. I prefer the short tracks really. So, well, got any final thoughts or shout outs you'd love to give, Chris, before we let you go? Definitely got shout outs. I when I talked to you guys last week, I wasn't thinking, and I completely forgot my spotter and Poochie. Troy Daggett, he's a huge help. Anybody that's had a real spotter in their ear on iRacing knows it's definitely a help on lap times, having somebody kind of cheering you on as well and giving you the information you need so you don't have to look away from where you need to be focused. So huge thanks to him. My Team Ramrod teammates, they've been teaching me things over the last couple of years, how to drive and get better little by little. You guys, of course, broadcasting, Brian, you and Will there, and all the good drivers that just make this a lot of fun.
Well, congratulations on that podium finish, that P3, like you said, great way to open up the playoffs for you, and hopefully continue this momentum and great run for you next week in Milwaukee Mile, Chris.
All right, thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Next up will be, who do I say, Richard.
Richard, P2 finisher tonight. Richard, got a copy? Yes, sir. Hello, Richard. So, kind of like you and a handful of the other competitors tonight, everybody but Brandon, back and forth, up and down, patch a sketch night for you. On the restart, what was it, 12 to go? Had a moment, but didn't. You know, man, you drove back. You charged up, got those positions back. Had that super late battle with Chris there at the end of the race with Chris Tamari. But like I said, just about everybody had a back and forth, up and down night as far as something happened or they had to make back up what they lost. So just tell us about your night, how the truck was handling for you at the track here tonight, and what all you had to deal with.
Yeah, we waited till our first pit stop there, and then just kind of saving tires. It's the name of the game. Just Brandon was able to save better tires than I was. When we took them off, they were about the same. Maybe a little bit better tire wear for me in the rear, but yeah, I was just trying to. My whole goal tonight was to be the first playoff truck across the line, and that's what happened. Congrats to Brandon on the win, but I'll take a 1 second margin of victory over anything.
Right. And like you said, first playoff truck over the start finish line compared to the others that were here this evening. So that's very beneficial, to finish ahead of the other playoff contenders. So carry that momentum forward, hopefully. Milwaukee Mile next week. Richard, what's the hopes, ambitions, aspirations, everything going into Milwaukee?
Milwaukee's going to be tricky. Some people are going to be shifting. Some people are not going to be shifting. That's the way the officials went. I've tried both. I'm just as fast shifting as I am not shifting. It's going to be a crapshoot because it's so flat. There's like no banking.
So possibility of maybe just burning up the tires even more for shifting, perhaps. You think?
Absolutely.
So, any final thoughts or shout-outs, Richard, before we let you go? Congratulations again on the second place.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Just, shout out to everybody that showed up. It wasn't a big field, but it was enough of a field to say that the playoff drivers were here. Right. Congrats to Brandon for winning. Congrats to Chris for third. Yeah, we had a good battle there at the end. Hate that we made contact, but short track racing, you got to get your elbows out. Shout out to you guys for putting on the show and letting us come out each week and do it.
Well, like I said, congratulations on the P2. Hopefully you can carry that momentum as a playoff driver into next week at Milwaukee and, hopefully have another good race for you, Richard.
Appreciate it.
Yep. Last but not least, Brandon.
Brandon.
What's going on?
Oh, nothing much. You didn't step on nothing today. Dominating performance here at IRP. I thought you might have would have lost it with all the late race calamity and cautions that we were having. I was thinking somebody might get to jump on you and pounce on you, perhaps, but you were able to, beat everybody off your back with a stick or something there towards the end. Don't know how you did it, but tell us how you did it, Brandon. How you were able to kind of control this race, dominate this race, and hold everybody off there at the end.
I just try to keep the tires on it, get a good rhythm, keep the tires good and even, keep a good pace. End of the race there, of course, good restarts was key. Just kind of playing with the restart box, that way they didn't know exactly when I was going, get a good jump on them, and then get right up to the top, right where I was the most comfortable, and sail away.
Come
Come
sail
sail away. Anyway, so synchronize sticks there. So, keeping with the theme of sticks. So Milwaukee Mile next week, Brandon. It's basically a concrete mixed with asphalt version of New Hampshire, but even more flat. Up there in Wisconsin. It's old. It's historic. It has its own challenges. What do you think you're going to be facing, or what to expect going into Milwaukee?
Be a similar experience to, like you said, New Hampshire. More so with the tire wear. You got to, stay on top of the tire wear. The person who doesn't abuse the right front tire is probably going to be the person who wins the race there. Yeah.
Well, congratulations on tonight's win, Brandon. Thanks for talking to us. If I'm not mistaken, I don't think you're in contention for a championship this year in the BNR Truck Series, but you're making life very miserable for those trying to lock themselves and you're just out here trying to win, which is respectable.
See, what we're trying to do is we're trying to make the point system like Winston Cup Series point systems. Ain't nobody locking himself in.
Exactly. So.
No, I'm just coming out here trying to have some fun. I just enjoy running trucks, so we come out here and run trucks and try to run hard. And, try to stay out of the way of the people that's in contention at the same time.
Exactly. So, and you do a great job of that. You do a good job of running your own race all the time. I do believe so. You always have. So, like I said, congratulations again. Hopefully, Milwaukee will be good to you next week, and we'll be talking to you again, Brandon.
Sounds good. Thank y'all.
Thank you, Brandon.
Oh, I was just about ready to move him. Well, excuse me. I would say a great race. With the short amount we have, I'm sure next week we will pick up the numbers again when they return from their vacay, which is always a well split time to go on vacation. Always good to step away and enjoy, and then come back and run some more and be challenging then. But overall, nice fast pace run, at least an hour. How about it? So drivers had another short race, but I would say overall content, not bad. Good outcome for most.
Yes, it could have been 200 laps of this.
Yes, could have been. Originally, that's what we were gonna do, but I would say overall, good race.
Oh yeah,
especially
it was a really good IRP race. For having 8 people and everything. I thought it was a pretty good race
for the most part. But then they're tricky come about will
I
be
can't.
Milwaukee.
Yeah, I can't wait to see what Milwaukee's gonna hold in store for us, what it brings, and what type of racing we will actually get to see there next week. So, just
Oh, yeah.
looking forward to that, and also the remainder of the Cup Series playoff races that we have left in store. So,
That's right. Because Xfinity is done. Yes, sir. Anyway, if you want to wrap it up, go ahead and go for it. But I thought it was a pretty good, pretty good go abouts, and the end was the good because I thought someone was actually gonna give at least maybe attempt to give B the old bump and out the way, but nobody just had nothing for him. So
yeah, he was just complete fire on those restarts. So
yeah, he was
once he once he was able to get enough gap on the front stretch on the restarts, he was able to have enough of a gap into turn one to where he was kind of safe, So,
Oh yeah.
but yeah, well, like you said, Brian, we can close it out here for this evening's event here at IRP for the BNR Truck Series. Myself, Will Roberts, and Brian Huntley. We would like to thank each and every one of you for coming out, supporting us, or your favorite BNR Truck Series driver. And like we have just been rambling on about Milwaukee Mile will be next week, same bat time and bat channel. So tune in for that. Sure to be some type of intriguing race. But until then,